What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down the description. You also know I talk to you all the time about my Glance LED. Could not have done without it this morning. Watching the Pat McAfee show while I was getting updated from all the scores last night, all the games upcoming today, including the betting lines in Major League Baseball, but also keeps track of NBA for the playoffs, NHL, UFC, NASCAR. You don't care about sports that day, it's okay. It's still going to get you covered with news, stocks, weather. If you're a gamer, it's an absolute must-have. No more checking your phone, no more looking down at a tablet. Everything is right there in a beautiful, bright LED screen, and all you have to do is tell it what you want to see, and that is what it's going to do. Not one subscription fee. Your guys are going to fall in love with this unit the same way I have. Pick one up. You will not be disappointed. Now, as I said, Kirk Herbstreit on Pat McAfee this morning, and he was talking about EA College Football. And so many of you were so frustrated with my take on the trailer. How dare I say something good about the game? It's ironic to me. When I say something good about the game, you immediately tell me I sell out. When I say something bad about the game, you tell me I'm the most negative person in the world. What I said in that video is the truth. Whether you like it or not, EA Sports has had years, decades, to refine exactly what we want to see as a customer. And they do very few things at an elite level. One of them is microtransactions. The other is promote a game. They knew exactly what we wanted to see, and they showed us what we wanted to see. And in my opinion, as usual, they camouflaged all the things we don't want to see. Go back. For those of you that didn't, type in Madden Next Gen 06 trailer, and you'll see a game that you don't recognize today because, quite frankly, it never happened. Because that is what EA does, as I said, at an elite level. They market. And they've been marketing this game for 2 years. Kirk Herbstreit comes on, says all the right things today. Said that, he had not seen the game. And I found that rather interesting. He's not seen the game. It's going to release in 2 months. Now, I understand. He's just a commentator. He's just a voiceover. But he hasn't seen the game. He doesn't know anything about the Dynasty mode. If you're recording specific lines for modes, wouldn't you want to have some type of concept? If you're doing voiceovers for menus, perhaps, wouldn't you think that you'd be seeing what you're recording? I don't know. It just struck me a little weird. I mean, I've helped a couple games in my time, and more often than not, the person that was doing the voiceovers, the person that was writing the script for those voiceovers, had seen the game. That's how they helped get the pace, the narration correct. So I understand he could probably just go look at Madden and get the same effect, but to that point, he talks about how much they're trying to differentiate NCAA from Madden. And boy, when I talked about this, you guys got so frustrated. But this is the problem. EA has no other choice. Gamers today are going to catch on a lot faster than gamers 10, 15 years ago. Look at the YouTube creator space when it comes to video game content. As a community, we've gotten more intelligent. We recognize animations. We understand game faults, and we communicate them not only to each other, but through each other. We'll go to social media, we'll post a clip and say, look at how broken this game is, and I'll cover it, someone else will cover it, someone else will retweet it, someone else will like it. And we've seen time and time again, EA just can't quite seem to fix those things. But those broken clips do get a lot of traction. We also really have never seen someone come out and say, hey, look at how perfect this play is. Look at how great this simulation football is, because for the most part, EA has really struggled to do that. And to a gamer, we don't want Madden early with college football mode. That's why I think it's interesting when Kirk sits there and talks about EA being committed to do this right. He emphasized the graphics in the game. And I thought to myself, what a strange thing to say. He hasn't seen the game, right? He says that. I haven't seen the game. But he's willing to sit there and emphasize the graphics are done at a higher level. A higher level than what? Can they be done at a higher level than Madden? I mean, I did see the textures looked a little different. I did see the equipment looked a little changed. Obviously, the formations different, but could the graphics be that much different? I just don't believe so. But EA does love to put facelifts on things and hope that everyone is going to think that it's new. He also brought up a really interesting point about John Madden and the involvement during John's life that he played in his game, and the fact that Kirk apparently reached out to EA directly regarding the game. And he actually sees, and so did Pat McAfee for that matter, an opportunity where with the realignment of the playoffs, all the changes we're seeing to college football, that this is really the perfect time for the game to release. And that's really not something I had thought about before, but it actually is very true. You know, this game did get pushed back a whole year. They had a lot of changes to put into this game. And if we look at sports games in terms of the genre of simulating sports, which is what EA tries to do, you can look no further than MLB The Show. It took them a year to get the pitch clock and the bigger bases in. So is it really out of the realm of possibility that EA needed a whole year to institute all these changes, not just to the game, but also to how it was going to handle playoffs? And then, as I said, at the end, he basically says, you know, with college football, they want to focus on what's key. And the more I looked at your comments, the more I've looked at content creators online, the more I've looked at the comments that other people have on those videos, it seems like we recall a better time in gaming. It seems that the last time we had an NCAA football game is where we think this game is going to put us. And I just don't know that that's the case. And I don't want to be negative to the point that, you know, you guys get frustrated. But the reality is very, very simple. Okay, EA doesn't have competition in the marketplace now. But they do have now competition with themselves. And that, I think, is the only thing we can hope for. We have separate teams. We know that, building these games. Is it possible that the NCAA football team can motivate the Madden team to make a better game? I mean, after all, NCAA is coming out earlier. They're both going to have similar price points. If someone buys the NCAA game and they're disappointed in it, do you really feel compelled to buy Madden? Probably not. I would actually argue if both of these games come out and play so similar that you can't really tell the difference as a gamer, that this is really going to hinder Madden a lot. To the point that Madden may not even be a game that you would pay for to play. It may go the way of Maximum Football, which, oh, by the way, I've got some footage coming up from it, and it's going to be free as well. So put yourself in the prospective customer's shoes. You buy NCAA football, trying to relive a time where the game was just in a place it isn't anymore, where you had multiple companies creating products that made EA put the best effort forward. Now EA is just competing with itself and some third-party games. You're disappointed in the product for whatever reason. You know that Madden is very much going to play the same, and you lose all ability to want to purchase Madden because you already feel that you've been taken for your money from NCAA football. You would rather continue to play that for the next, 6 months, at which point you'll know Madden will be free. And then at that point, you'll know to hold you over if you need to be held over. If the NCAA football game isn't kind of fulfilling that need for football, you'll be able to download Maximum Football for free and play just a different variant of football to kind of scratch that football gaming itch. It's a very real possibility where we're going to be. This is very much a make or break year for EA in many ways. They've made a monumental investment, but they've also made a huge commitment. And they have a community, from what I've seen, both negative and positive, that is expecting a game to release and really check every single box. And the delay only made that more of a thought process as far as our expectations being met. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know I will be back as soon as I can with more commentary.